This is your Forecast First.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us, and thank you for trusting us as your local source for news, sports, and, of course, weather. We go to it. America's Mattress Tower Cam. A little bit of high-level cirrus clouds, and while there are no energy in those, things are about to change. I am tracking two systems, two cold fronts. It is all headed this way, and it begins tomorrow night. In the short term, 54 and 51, mostly clear, cool, calm, and dry. No major issues. But for tomorrow, clouds will build in the afternoon. A small chance of a storm with a high of 83 and 81. And by the time we get a week out, we are talking highs in the 60s. You're going to want to see these forecasts. Stick around.
Now, first on the Western Slope, you're watching KREX 5 News at 5.
Good evening, and thank you for choosing KREX 5 News at 5. I'm Logan Wilbur.
And I'm Kate Asaf. There's about to be another place in Grand Junction to enjoy the fun of the Colorado River.
Yeah, that's right, Kate. The city broke ground on the river park at Las Colonias Tuesday night, and it's going to be a space for all to enjoy recreation around and in the Colorado River.
KREX 5's Adrian Thomas is live at Las Colonias Amphitheater with what businesses and residents think. Adrian?
Logan, Katrin, the area around Las Colonias Amphitheater may seem a little sparse right now, but with the river park construction underway, it could be the beginning of a vibrant new part of Grand Junction. This groundbreaking is no ordinary groundbreaking. The construction of the river park at Las Colonias is set to begin a new era for the Colorado River in Grand Junction.
It is just the most exciting thing that could happen in Grand Junction, and I think that we will be down here very often. I can't wait to see what else it brings.
Linda Fry and her husband are enjoying lunch at Edgewater Brewery, one of the only businesses right next to Las Colonias Amphitheater and the river park construction site. One of the owners at Edgewater is also looking forward to the development of the river park.
Well, I hope we get more traffic down here from people. I mean, it's only logical that people take advantage of access to the river.
The area where Edgewater now stands and the surrounding riverfront have been very important to Jeffries and the Edgewater team for years.
We moved down here because we love the river, and we bought this property in 1998. We built on it in 2012, moved in here in 2013 with a production brewery.
Right now, there isn't a lot around Las Colonias Amphitheater and Edgewater Brewery, and the city is hoping that with the completion of the river park, this area will become a favorite among Grand Junction residents. Outdoor and rafting businesses in town are also excited that there will be a new space for people to enjoy the Colorado River right here in Grand Junction.
It's going to keep more business local in the sense of you're not going to go to Moab for their daily stretch or Montrose for the play park or Glenwood for their wave. You're going to have the options right here in town.
The first phase of the construction project is scheduled to be completed by the end of November, and we will keep following this massive project and how it affects local businesses and the community. First on the Western Slope and live at Las Colonias Amphitheater, I'm Adrian Thomas, KREX 5 News.
Adrian, thank you very much. In your courtroom news today, a prison sentence has been handed down in the death of a 2-month-old child in Mesa County.
Sean O'Byrne receives an 18-year sentence after pleading guilty to being responsible for the death of his 2-month-old son. The focus of both the defense and prosecution today before sentencing revolves around the injuries sustained throughout the child's short life. The prosecution and coroner both agree that there is evidence that the baby suffered broken ribs at least 3 times during its life. After being transported from St. Mary's Hospital in 2018 to the Children's Hospital in Denver, x-rays showed rib fractures consistent with abuse. Former Mesa County Coroner Dr. Havlick, who operated out of Community Hospital, also found evidence of 17 rib fractures. Those fractures were in different stages of healing, implicating it could not stem from one incident. Today, O'Byrne's defense attempted to cite that the baby had been to a heart doctor 1 week before the death and no injuries were noticed. In his own words in 2018, O'Byrne says he could not feel his son breathing and squeezed him even harder.
And in other court news, a Minnesota man caught with more than 30 pounds of methamphetamine is in court trying to get his bond lowered from $100,000. Stephen Crandall was given 2 options to get out of Mesa County custody. Crandall could pay $75,000 in a surety bond or come up with $25,000 in cash. If released, Crandall still needs a judge's permission to leave the state, as he is facing the highest level of drug felony Colorado has. Crandall is one of 2 men arrested in June on Interstate 70 with 30 pounds of meth and a GPS tracker. Tracking devices like this are said to be used for drug dealers to know the location of their product and those transporting it.
Tragedy hit Two Rivers Mosque last Tuesday, but a week later, the community is lending a helping hand. The Two Rivers Mosque was vandalized on September 19th. The act was caught on camera, but unfortunately, law enforcement has not been able to identify the vandal. Since the incident, the members of the mosque and the community were able to get off most of the spray paint covering the sign, but the community has helped out in another significant way. A GoFundMe was started to help raise money for a new sign and better security equipment. As of Wednesday, the amount raised has almost doubled the asking price, with a whopping $5,270. The meeting will be held later tonight so local law enforcement can talk to local church leaders about staying safe. To hear an expanded interview on this situation, check out our Facebook page.
And a woman is taken to a hospital this morning after her car goes off-road near Orchard Avenue and 21st Street. The woman's car went off the road, but according to officers on the scene, it may have been caused by a medical issue. The car drove through multiple yards, running over brushes before finally stopping just yards from a house. No other vehicles were involved in the incident, and no other injuries have been reported at this time.
Well, it's back again. A bicycle race focused on the national monument that is truly out of this world. This Saturday, the Tour of the Moon bicycle ride is back again on the western slope. The ride takes participants through the Colorado National Monument from downtown Grand Junction on an either 41-mile or 64-mile route through Mesa County. During the event, the monument will be open to visitors, but park rangers are asking that drivers enter through the Fruta entrance to not interfere with the ride. The tour will attract about 2,000 riders from all around the world who will be pedaling their hearts out from 7:30 a.m. to 1.
Obviously, you're going to be there, so know what you're doing. But let's take a look at what other people could be doing in today's community calendar.
Earlier this week, KREX reported on local emergency rooms using alternatives to opioids. That story can be found online. Now, residents of the Grand Valley can learn about those other options themselves. Family Health West and Western Rockies interventional pain specialists present Control Your Pain. The event is happening Thursday, September 26th at 5:30 p.m. at the Fruta Community Center. Guest speaker U.S. Army First Sergeant Justin Minyard will present on controlling pain through alternative options when he was forced into an early retirement due to debilitating chronic pain.
And this Saturday is the 2019 Walk to End Alzheimer's. The walk raises funds for the Alzheimer's research and invites everyone in western Colorado to participate. It all kicks off at Long Family Memorial Park at 8 a.m. when teams can register. The actual walk begins at 9:30. For more information and to register, check out the race's website. We'll include a link to that on westernslope.now.com.
Every now and then, we're going to post a quick profile of an active duty member of the military who has roots here in the Grand Valley. Today, we're featuring a member of the Navy, Hospital Corpsman 3rd Class Curtis Barlow of Fruta. Barlow is currently assigned to the 11th Marine Expeditionary Unit, stationed in the Gulf of Aden in the Middle East. More information can be found on our Facebook page.
Now, we've talked about it a little bit.
We have.
But we're giving you an early look at a feature that's going to become a part of our new morning newscast, Wake Up Western Slope, starting October 14th.
It's the Ag Day Minute, the latest update on agricultural news affecting the nation. Take a look.
I'm Betsy Gibbon with today's Ag Day Minute. Washington has plunged into an impeachment crisis as House Democrats open an investigation into President Trump's campaign season dealings with Ukraine. But amid the controversy, the president has signed a first-step trade deal with Japan. Under the plan, Japan will lower tariffs for fresh and frozen beef and pork. It will eliminate tariffs altogether on several U.S. ag products.
Japan will open new markets to approximately $7 billion in American agricultural products. Japanese tariffs will now be significantly lower or eliminated entirely for U.S. beef, pork, wheat, cheese, corn, wine, and so much more.
In return, the U.S. will reduce or eliminate tariffs on certain industrial goods from Japan. It's confirmed China did buy more U.S. soybeans this week. USDA reporting a flash sale of 581,000 metric tons of beans to China. Earlier this week, Reuters reported Chinese importers are buying another 10 vessels of soybeans out of the Pacific Northwest. As far as trade negotiations with the U.S., China is urging President Trump to oppose bullying. It follows the president's criticism of China's trade status in a speech at the United Nations.
and they want to make a deal very badly. And it could happen. Could happen. It could happen. It could happen sooner than you think.
For more ag news, watch Ag Days weekdays on this station or anytime at agweb.com.
You know what else could happen sooner than we think?
What?
More temperature heat up and then some rain possibly.
There you go. I know. Let's take things over to meteorologist Chris Nation. Chris, I know that we're going into fall. It's sort of the end of the agricultural season here. How's it looking?
So it's looking really good for the harvest, guys, because we've been a little bit above average. We're moving into fall. In fact, let's look at those state temps now and make those full screen. So we're in the 80s to 70s out there. That's right about where we should be, maybe a degree or two above. Fire issues have been fairly light. We actually, believe it or not, had a fairly light fire season, which is going to come to an end over the next 4 to 6 weeks. Something else to note, too, as well, especially as everyone's getting ready for some of those later harvests, there is some moisture coming in. We are actually tracking one of the best chances of storms we've seen in a very long time, guys, is we've got a cold front to the north and energy from a system to our southwest, and they look to merge over us over the next 48 hours. I'm going to tell them all about it in full weather coming up in just a few moments.
All right, Chris, thank you very much. Well, don't go anywhere. Chris is going to be right back. You don't have to wait too long. He's up next with your full forecast.
And President Trump defends himself to reporters today as he deals with a political controversy. We're back in 60 seconds.
Teddy and Kristen recently switched to solar. Sure, they added value to their home, but really they did it because they're tree huggers.
Well, no, we did it for the value thing.
And the 30% tax credit.
But what about hugging trees?
Well, trees are nice too, I guess.
But we really love the idea of eliminating our utility bill.
Come on, hug the tree.
Call or visit Atlasta to switch. Atlasta Solar Center, innovative energy solutions since 1979.
Discover your next adventure with the all-new stylish 2019 Subaru Crosstrek with road-gripping symmetrical all-wheel drive from Grand Junction Subaru. Right now, lease the adventurous and durable 2019 Subaru Crosstrek for only $229 a month, or the sleek and affordable Subaru Impreza for only $175 a month. Plus, receive as low as 0% financing for 36 months on the popular Subaru Outback. Your next adventure starts now, so don't wait and test drive today at Grand Junction Subaru, Colorado's largest volume Subaru dealership west of the Rockies.
Good evening, welcome back. Start you off with the radars, all the satellites running. And hey, guess what? There's actually some clouds out there today for the first time in about 3 days. They're occurring to the south down by Montrose, drifting to the north. And while there's no energy in them, they are a sign that things have started to change. We're not talking about nonstop sunshine anymore. Clouds will be rolling in and a chance at storms as early as tomorrow night. And on Friday, probably the best chance at storms we've had in a long time. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. No watches or warnings. You got to cross the border to the north to actually wind up getting some of those fire weather watches and red flag warnings. For us, we're just not meeting that criteria. That's a good thing. We take a look at America's Mattress Tower Cam. High-level cirrus clouds, the kind that don't produce showers or storms. They're usually the leftovers of storms. We're at 83. Winds west-northwest at 10. But there are some problems to talk about. Humidity, 19%. Dew points, though, are up to about 36. And believe it or not, there's low pressure moving through inside the high pressure that could have triggered storms if we had even a tiny bit of moisture to work with. Now, if you're traveling, you should be fine unless you get north of the Colorado border. But our passes, no major issues there. Now, when we get towards the weekend next week, that may not be the case. There may be some wind issues. When we go to the pollen forecast, we are almost to the end of needing it. A couple weeks left, all levels now low or almost non-existent. Temps out there this evening, mid-70s in the high country to upper 70s, mid-80s in the valleys. Very nice, but still about 3 or 4 degrees above where we should be, and anywhere from 2 to 4 degrees warmer than it was this time yesterday. But if you like today, guess what? It's probably the hottest day of the next 7. When we look at the winds, they are starting to switch back a bit to the north in the high country. They'll go back to the northeast like we're seeing in Delta tonight, and then swing back to the southwest tomorrow. Why does that matter? Out of the southwest, we'll pull in some of that energy, but it also pulls in dry air. Now, we've got dew points in the 20s to 30s out there. The real culprit, humidities. We've got to get these up. This is what really caused us to mostly miss that monsoonal season. Single digits to teens does not cut it. So let's go wide, take a look. There are the clouds drifting up out of Utah, but there's no real energy in there. Let's take a look at the SPC outlooks. No chance of a storm tonight. tonight. I absolutely agree with them. There is high pressure aloft and not enough moisture to support that. But when we go to tomorrow, yeah, most of western Colorado has a chance in the afternoon and evening. But Friday, that's the one I'm excited about because it's two separate pockets of energy that collide with each other and then actually move over western Colorado. Best way to show you is to put it up. High pressure over us, last system pulling away. Notice the one off the edge of Baja. That's the low. You look to the northwest, cool front slides in. Cool front arrives Friday afternoon. I somewhat disagree with the computer there on that cold front stalling. Those two waves of energy will meet right on the border with us in Utah and spread thunderstorms in. And when we look at that system off of Baja, that is a powerful upper level disturbance. Look at the tight spin on that energy spreading into western New Mexico. That will lift up into Utah in about 36 hours and provide the energy to create those storms. Let's put the HT Futurecast into motion. Clear skies tonight. The high pressure is still in control, not enough moisture. We get to Thursday in the morning on your way out the door, no issues. Lunchtime, clear. You can go out to the park, have a snack, you're fine. By the afternoon, getting off work about 5 o'clock, little storms start to fire up. One over Montrose, a couple to the southeast of us that will drift up to the edges of the hills. But again, I win 20% there. Friday is the one that I'm excited about as those two waves collide over us, the cold front to the north, the energy up from the system out by Baja. Thunderstorm energy spreads across the region. And there's the game Friday night at 7 p.m. Computer projects thunderstorms to roll through the valley right during the game and then drift off to the northeast. And it looks pretty good, especially if that convergence point is right to the west of us. We'd be in the money. Tonight, 54, mostly clear and calm, no major issues. You're going to see mid-50s to a couple of low 50s in the valleys. Freezing line around 10,000 feet. For tomorrow, we will see temps not quite as warm, about a degree cooler at 83, mostly sunny. Will turn partly cloudy in the afternoon and evening. 20% chance of a storm after 5 p.m. Low 80s in the valleys, mid-70s in the high country, upper 80s on the Utah side. Grand Junction, 83, 78, 80. But look at that. By the time you get to Wednesday next week, a high of 68 degrees. For Montrose, 81, 73, and a high next Wednesday of 64. But don't worry, weather's not over. Coming up, we're going to talk about this chance of storms, the cold fronts that are coming, and of course, your weekend outlook. We'll be right back.
Has it been a while since you've looked closely at your financial advisor? Are you getting passed from advisor to advisor? I'm Matt Rosenberg, founder of Rosecap Financial, an independent registered investment advisor and CPA firm. As an independent RIA, we accept fiduciary responsibility for all our clients, which means we only give advice that we think is in your best interest. If it's been a while since you checked the competitiveness of your advisor, give us a call. We'd be happy to do a free comparison so you'll know you're giving yourself the best chance of achieving your financial goals.
Have you ever heard a contractor say, "We do it all"? Well, we don't. At Foundation Repair, we specialize in systems. It keeps our costs in check and provides the best value for our customers. Foundation stabilization or replacement systems, bright white crawl space encapsulation systems, waterproofing and water control systems. Check out our website at repaircracks.com or call us at 243-2022 and fix it for good.
I've been seeing Dr. Clifford for my orthopedic spine care needs since 2017. I wouldn't go anywhere else. That's why I'm going to continue seeing Dr. Clifford at Community Hospital. I have 2 mountain biking friends that saw Dr. Clifford in the past and they heavily recommended him for surgery.
At Community Hospital, we are proudly growing to provide increased access to specialty care. Your trusted spine care team in the Grand Valley is now with Community Hospital.
That's why multiple storm systems are on the way. Hi, most of you know me as Chief Meteorologist Chris Nation for KRX5 and Fox 4. But you know that I'm actually a certified meteorologist with a degree in atmospheric science. This is a fast-moving storm. We've got an inflow notch, deep low-level rotation. Oh, and I also have an Emmy for my work in broadcast meteorology. So the next time you want fair, honest, accurate weather information that's more than highs and lows of the day, tune in every weeknight to KRX5 and Fox 4.
Storm Team Weather's 7-day forecast is brought to you by your Mesa County Human Services, helping individuals and families achieve safety, stability, and meaningful employment.
President Trump says the diplomacy he's conducted at the United Nations this week is being overshadowed by a previous conversation he had with the president of Ukraine.
Mr. Trump told reporters at a news conference today that instead of covering his dealings with nearly 20 world leaders, they're wasting their time covering, quote, nonsense. The president is referring to reports that he pressured Ukraine's leader to investigate Democratic political rival Joe Biden. The issue first came to light through a whistleblower whose complaint was recently delivered to congressional committees for review. Today, Ukrainian President Zelensky said no one pushed him during the phone conversation with President Trump in July. House Democrats are weighing the next steps in their impeachment inquiry against Mr. Trump. Nora O'Donnell will have much more on the CBS Evening News right after this broadcast.
Meanwhile, the Labor Department is expanding the numbers of workers eligible for overtime pay by 1.3 million. The rule by the Trump administration increases the salary threshold from $23,000 to about $35,000. Workers making less than that will qualify for time and a half pay starting 2020. But some workers' rights groups say it doesn't go far enough, comparing it to an Obama-era proposal, which would have covered about 3 million more people, but was struck down in court.
Well, Logan, we all know life can get a little bit stressful sometimes.
Oh boy, does it.
And although work and finances are the top sources of stress for most people, new research shows many Americans are increasingly stressed out over politics.
Yeah, that's right, Katrin, and they actually believe it's affecting their mental and physical health. Katherine Johnson has more.
Caitlin Rick says these politically tense times really have an impact on her. Do politics stress you out?
Right now, yes.
With 24-hour access to news and social media, politics are everywhere. Now, new research from the University of Nebraska-Lincoln suggests Americans are making themselves sick over politics.
Everything from stress and loss of sleep to damaged friendship to even thoughts of suicide because of politics.
Political scientist Kevin Smith authored the study, which analyzed a sample of American adults. 38% say politics are stressing them out. 20% say they're losing sleep. 11.5% report politics negatively affects their physical health.
1 in 4 said that they had lost a friend. Similar numbers sort of said that they had experienced problems at work or difficulty staying away from political websites.
Researchers also say younger people who consider themselves more liberal are more likely to report stress.
When you're talking specifically about seeing rants online that you're having a hard time with, walk away from it. Take some deep breaths. Do what you need to do to physically calm your body down.
The American Psychological Association conducts a Stress in America survey each year, which also finds politics are a stressor for many. Dr. Lynn Bufka says it's critical to find ways to cope.
Decide how much you want to be exposed to that, and this is true for any stressor.
Caitlin says she manages stress as best she can.
I discuss it with people. I join the groups with other people feeling the same way.
Experts say a good diet, exercise, sleep, and healthy relationships are also good stress relievers. Katherine Johnson, CBS News, Washington.
Well, a CEO steps down today as major e-cigarette company makes some big changes. That story coming up.
Stay with us.
How do I use better than bouillon? I just add a spoonful to my marinades.
To stir fries?
Sauces.
Just whisk it in.
Brush it on.
Saute. It adds a cooked all day taste.
That doesn't take all day.
Better than bouillon. Don't just make it better.
You're not holding it by the legs, are you?
No, I'm not. Gorilla Glue.
Of course.
Gorilla Glue is incredibly strong and versatile, even outdoors, for the toughest jobs on planet Earth.
Hey, this is Sean Harrison, and if you're looking for your next pre-owned vehicle, come out to Grand Junction Subaru and Grand Junction Volkswagen. Based on our overwhelming new car sales, we have lots of models to choose from. SUVs, trucks, and cars, all makes and models, prices as low as $7,000. We thoroughly safety check our cars and stand behind every one of them with a 6-month, 6,000-mile warranty. So when you're looking for your next pre-owned vehicle, come out and see us at Grand Junction Subaru and Grand Junction Volkswagen. Because, folks, if you buy a car anywhere else, you might have paid too much.
Friday nights mean one thing here on the Western Slope: high school football. Every Friday, we're going to bring you updates from the sidelines of some of the biggest local games, plus in-depth coverage, scores, and highlights of some of your favorite Western Slope teams. It's Friday Night Frenzy, only on Krex5 News.
Presented by Tim's Auto Glass.
It's a tasty debate with a lot of heritage. The Cuban sandwich. A coat of yellow mustard is spread on the bread, then sliced roast pork, glazed ham, Swiss cheese, and thinly sliced dill pickles are added in layers. Tampa lays claim as a city that birthed the Cuban sandwich, but Miami says not so fast.
watching KREX 5 News, first on the Western Slope.
Welcome back. The CEO of Juul, the country's largest maker of vaping products, is stepping down in a large company shakeup.
The move comes amid growing public calls for tighter restrictions following explosive growth in the number of teenagers vaping. Michelle Medina has more.
Juul CEO Kevin Burns is stepping down effective immediately. In a statement, Burns says he believes the company's mission of eliminating combustible cigarettes is vitally important and Juul products are intended for adult smokers only. Burns had faced a storm of controversy over the company's popular vaping products. He denied that Juul targets teenagers during an August interview on CBS This Morning.
Again, I don't think our campaign was ever targeted to kids. We don't need to target youth to grow our business, to be successful and fulfill our mission.
But parents, lawmakers, and public health advocates blame Juul and other companies for the explosive growth in the number of teenagers vaping.
These are dangerous products for youth.
Government health officials say more than 1 in 4 students used e-cigarettes in the past month.
Juuling has become a verb in high schools that is not really understood to be a dangerous product necessarily.
The calls for tighter regulation on the product are growing louder. Some states and cities have outlawed the sale of all vaping products. Others are pulling flavored e-cigarettes from the market.
Here in California, health officials issued a dire warning on Tuesday, urging people to stop vaping immediately.
Across the country, public health officials are investigating more than 500 cases of vaping-related lung illness and at least 9 deaths.
I expect this week's numbers to be hundreds higher than what we reported last week.
Juul also announced it's shutting down its broadcast, print, and digital advertising. Michelle Medina, CBS News, Burbank, California.
Benjamin Franklin once said, "A small leak will sink a great ship." From minor leaks to major repairs, trust your locally owned Benjamin Franklin Plumbing. Our on-time guarantee pays you if we're late.
Call Benjamin Franklin Plumbing.
It's the small things that count. Fresh fruits and vegetables hand-picked at the local family farm. Wine crafted from grapes grown by the winery down the road. Desserts made from ingredients by our local world-famous candy maker. It's another way we care for our community, because it's the small things that make a big difference. Spoons After Dark. Fresh, local, from the heart.
At Ed Bozarth, September means 20% off our most popular 2019 models. Whatever your needs, we have the answer, and it's 20% off. Need a truck? Go for the Chevy Silverado Crew Cab. It's bold, it's strong, and it can be all yours for 20% off. Looking for an SUV? The Buick Envision is athletic yet refined and at 20% off.
But hurry, with prices this good, they won't last.
Only at the #1 selling Chevy dealer in Colorado, Ed Bozarth Mark Miller Chevrolet Buick.
You simply won't find a better deal.
With the largest selection at the lowest prices guaranteed, Furniture Row's 4-day super sale has something for everyone. That's 4 days where the more you buy, the more you save. Shop sofas, dining sets, bedrooms, and mattresses. And save $100 on every $1,000 you spend. No limit. Plus, make your cash go further with 4 years no-interest financing. The 4-day super sale, only at Furniture Row. Hurry, sale ends Monday the 30th. Benjamin Franklin once said, "Don't put off until tomorrow what you can do today." Trust your locally owned Benjamin Franklin Plumbing to do the job right. Replace your water heater today.
Call Benjamin Franklin Plumbing.
Closed captioning brought to you by Pinnacle Hearing Aid Center.
We love is Pinnacle Hearing Aid Center.
So what did we learn today? Well, that there are 2 cold fronts and storm systems headed this way. Let's take a look. I want to show you where this one is at. Yesterday it was coming off of Russia. Now moving through Alaska. You can see the counterclockwise spin in those U shapes. Those are cold fronts. And guess what? Those cold fronts are headed our way. And by the time we get to next week, guys, by Wednesday, highs in the upper 60s.
Boy, 60s. Hard to believe that, huh?
I know. It's finally feeling like fall a little bit.
Feeling like fall. CBS News is coming up next.
And for all your local updates, head to westernslopenow.com. We'll see you at 6 o'clock.